These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Mark Z via PDK question. I heard that the rate at the banks would be different from those at redemption centers. Is this true? Mark Z says that's what we've been told, that the rates would be higher at redeeming banks/centers than if you just walked in off the streets. Question, where are those redeeming banks? Mark Z says they will be all over. They could be right down the street from you. They are not going to give us redemption center locations until it is time to set appointments for security reasons. It is a well-guarded secret for now. Comment says, I have seen photos of banks getting ready. Mark Z says, in my opinion, they are gearing up. Mountain Goat says, oh my gosh, I can truly hardly believe all the good news coming from Iraq this period. Maybe it's not the RV as of yet, but I can assure you it is coming and there is no stopping it. It's like a loaded freight train coming fast down the tracks. Frank 26, Virginia Chase Bank / Wells Fargo Bank story. Frank says, what was the officer's position? The person said, the World Financial Advisors of Chase Bank, perfect guy to talk to. Question, what happened when you walked into the bank? The bank story person said, I asked him if he's ever heard of the Iraqi Dinar or the Vietnamese Dong. He said, I have heard of both. He used to work for Wells Fargo for 12 years. He told me when he was at Wells Fargo, they were specifically told to tell everyone it was a scam. That's why obviously 95% of the population thinks it's a scam. He said, I know Jamie Dimon, CEO of Chase Bank. He did know that he supports the Iraqi Dinar 100%. He did know that. Frank said, did he hint about the future with Chase and the Iraqi Dinar? The person said he said he does know they will be exchanging the currency. Frank said, you talked to the most perfect individual, the wealth management advisor director of all the Chase banks in America. Notice he wasn't in a defensive posture. He wasn't in an angry mood. He had a straightforward conversation. The bank story person said, me and my fiance went November 28th, a couple days before I talked to the Chase guy. Walked into my regular Wells Fargo bank. I asked if I could speak with the branch manager. The teller asked, what is it in reference about? I said, exchanging foreign currency. He said, well, if you're talking about the dinar, it's not going to happen. He said, I've talked to somebody really high up, and it's not going to happen. Frank 26 says, how in the world can we trust Wells Fargo when they are purposely lying to us? All they have done is say no comment. That's it. They sold me dinars back in 2005. Pimpy says Vietnam purposely keeps their rate low because they are an export country, unlike Iraq. Iraq is an import country, so for Iraq it makes more sense for them to increase the value of their currency, unlike Vietnam. Militiaman article, quote, Al-Sudani, the time has come for our economy to be linked to the global economic cycle and support stability in industrial entrepreneurship and must integrate with regional and international industries. There's all kinds of different things that are happening that are just off the charts powerful and support that this is coming to an end. All right, Claire article, quote, Zane Cash relaunches the Western Union service in light of rapid development in the world of financial transfers and renewal of the company's commitment to providing safe and reliable services to its customers. Zane Cash has relaunched the Western Union service after updating and developing it. All right, Mark Z via PDK says still eerily quiet from my contacts. I'm assuming they have cracked down on leaks. Don't take the no news as bad news. It's all still positive. Everyone agrees that any moment now is possible. Frank 26, Iraq Kurdish region boots on the ground report. Supergirl says, I talked to my Kurdish friend. Got news 2 days ago from Iraqi news. They're saying to the citizens here they're removing the zeros, but they did not say when. He heard from Iraqi news and he thinks it was BBC, the British broadcasting company. Could have been CNN. He was not sure, but he did hear they are removing the zeros and will change it to 1, 5, 10, 20, 50. Frank says, wow, jackpot. I'm excited to see what he has to show you very soon. Walking Six says what is occurring now is all about numbers. It's not about some politician. It's not about some soldier. It's all about the numbers. It's not about parliament. It's not about cabinet. It's not even about the prime minister. It's all about the numbers that the board of directors and the CBI are dealing with right now. All right, Nader from the Mideast says, question, can you talk about the steps involved in cashing in dinars? When the exchange time comes, we're going to have to go to three things: redemption center, 1-800 number, or the army base. Nader is clearly joking about these three things. People are telling them that. That's wrong. The only thing you can do is change your money, walk to your bank if they accept it, or go through exchange offices. There's no redemption centers, no army bases, no 1-800 numbers, nothing that way. There's a note, gurus disagree on the potential exchange procedures. Okay, Pimpy says, remember I told you I was aware Iraq was sitting on the discovery of some oil fields and I had not heard anything about it in the news whatsoever. Article quote, Russia takes control of Iraq's biggest oil discovery in 20 years. This is one of the discoveries I was talking about. There's more than one. Quote, preliminary estimates suggest Iraq's oil fields host between 7 and 10 billion barrels of oil reserves. Oilprice.com last week said the true figure may well be 50% more than the higher figure. Militiaman article quote says they're preserving the foreign cash reserves of Iraq in the central bank, so it's a benefit for the country. Thus, they will control the movement of speculators on the black market, putting pressure on the dollar circulating on the parallel market and unofficial outlets. The black market, parallel market, the illicit market, whatever you want to call it, is going bye-bye. And Frank26 says you don't have to go to the bank. There are other places you can go to. There will be other places, and you'll find out. There are many places. It will not be just one bank. It will not be just one source. It will be diversified. Lastly, Mark Z via PDK article, quote, Vietnam and Japan established comprehensive strategic partnership. Vietnam moved into the number 4 slot for trading partners for Japan. This means Vietnam is growing in trade and militarily. Vietnam and Turkey are also establishing much closer ties and swapping local currencies for trade. Vietnam is making big, solid moves in the international economy.